the more you put out there and the more rejections you get, the less deep it is. So like pretty much just like get as many rejections as you can so you can no longer do it. Hello, my name is Faye OJ Ife. Not gonna waste your time or mine with like a huge introduction. I'm not returning to YouTube. I just had this one little message to say. I quit my job in February, like right before the pandemic, and I was thinking like if I was graduating into this, I would feel really anxious. Like graduating into whatever this mess of the world that we call is now, I wouldn't feel great. Life after graduation is tough. Like you're gonna learn it sooner or later. It is really tough. It's the lowest I think I've ever felt. All your friends are like spread out doing different things, and that is why it is so important to focus in on yourself and to like run your own race. Quit my job in February, and I got a new job about 3 months later. So this video will be split into how I knew it was time to quit and steps I took to like move on. It got low. Like I say I quit, but it actually wasn't optional. I genuinely feel like if I didn't quit, I would have been fired. And that's not because I was bad at the job. It's just because I lost every sense of feeling. Like I no longer felt. It was really tragic. And that is not a reflection of the company I was working for. That was just a reflection of me. It just wasn't for me. And I just feel like if you're spending 9 to 5 at a job, the job needs to be for you. You need to have some feeling. I feel like as a grad, it's very rare that you're going to like every single part of the job you do. But if you are looking up and you don't see anyone that you want to be in terms of career wise, like professionally wise, not personal, of course, then why are you there? I can't stress that enough. I do not understand why you would be in that situation. And I do get that we aren't all the same and we all are in like different situations. So I wouldn't recommend like quitting without a job to everyone. But I just knew that like it got to that point for me. I needed to go. I needed to bounce. From like knowing when to leave and actually leaving, I feel like things that stopped me or probably delayed me was like social convention of like not quitting a job after 2 weeks, which I'm glad I did stay because like it does look better to have 5 months experience than 2 weeks, but even 5 months isn't that much. Regardless, I feel like once you know it's time to leave, there are things that are going to stop you, like feeling bad, like people telling you that you can't quit your grad job, like people telling you that like at least wait like a year, blah 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 blah. Listen, in terms of feeling bad, I'm not saying you are replaceable, but you will be replaced. Like they're not going to just leave your spot. Nobody is that special. I can assure you, no one is that special. You will be replaced. So don't feel bad. As long as you like respect the company, respect your notice period, you thank them for the opportunity, you tell them it's not personal, you ticked all those boxes. Like put yourself first. If you feel that bad, you can still keep in contact, connect with them on LinkedIn. You're good to go. In terms of like the whole quitting your first grad job, there is no like linear route in life. I'd say like from 16, like we all do not take the same route. Some people do gap years, masters, year abroads, etc, etc. And it's funny because in school you always make fun of the people who do medicine for 6 years, but a lot of people end up having 6-year uni experiences without doing medicine. It's not linear. There's no by this age you're supposed to be here, by this age you're supposed to be here. It's okay, you made a mistake, it's cool, we go again, like we move, we continue to move. Don't let like those things stop you, especially if your mental health is what is at risk. While I'm not saying you're gonna love every job, I'm just saying if you're looking at a job and you don't like it and you do not see anyone that you want to be and you really don't actually see why you're in the company, then cut. Looking around, right? Like the world does look scary, but it's temporary. Like nothing is forever. I left my job in what could possibly be the worst situation to leave a job without experience. I had 5 months experience, that was in PR. I was trying to do something different. So now moving on to what was like the hardest part, and that was like finding this new job. I had plans to just like relax for like a month, and I did do that. And it's just unfortunate the world happened to like enter a global pandemic when that month was over. That was really awkward. And while I don't regret leaving my job, I do regret not being proactive in that time that I did have. So like if I could go back to that time, I would, but at the same time I think it's so important to know when to like let your foot off the steam and just not be so hard on yourself to like go 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 go, because yeah, sometimes you just need to actually recuperate. I didn't really know what I want to do, so I was kind of like shooting like a lot of shots. I would say shoot many shots, but I'd also say just like be easy on yourself. A lot of the times now you're not going to be getting rejected just because you're not good enough. You're going to be getting rejected because the world has actually gone to pot. Like the amount of emails I got, like we're freezing a hiring process, I just feel like knowing when you need to pull back, know when you need to send out 100 apps, like just like just keep on going if you can and stopping if you have to. The next thing I want to say is particularly to women, and I'll even go deeper and say black women. Men apply for jobs that they have 60% of the qualifications for. This is a statistic that I saw somewhere, but women often wait till they have like 100% of the qualifications to go for a job, and that just shows that you don't need to wait till everything matches up according to you. The worst thing that can happen is you don't get the job. And like, I know you might be thinking, what do you mean the worst thing that can happen is I don't get a job? Just spend a week with this application. Okay, cool. You spent a week, so you now are further than you were before. You have like an application template that you can like use or adapt for, you know, another job, which is so much better than like starting from scratch. In my opinion, you do not lose out. There's easy apply on LinkedIn. Like, you don't actually have to do anything. You click a button and like press next. Like, I just don't think there's any excuse for not applying for a job because you think you're not good enough. Like, if you're not good enough, it will show you. And if you are good enough, you will get a pass. So, you know, when we have men applying for jobs that they're not qualified for, what's stopping you from doing that? Secondly, if you generally believe that, there are so many like courses out there that you can start. Google do loads, Udemy do loads, LinkedIn Learning, like there are so many ways to fill in that gap. Like MATLAB and Stata are on my CV. All I'm gonna say is people who did get these skills from uni probably still needed refreshers, so don't again let that stop you. Leveraging. So even though I didn't like the job that I was in, I literally sucked everything that I could suck from it in terms of what it taught me. And like, obviously leaving a job after 5 months, you're gonna get questions like, why did you leave? For me, I still love tech. I'm going into tech now, but I just realized I was on the wrong side of tech. I was in the PR part. So I used like, you know, the love I got from tech from that job, right? And I was like, yeah, I just realized I wanted to be closer to the storytelling. So that's just my story. What is your story? Like, know the things that you got from it. Maybe it was like an exercise that you did and you realized I want to do more of this and this job isn't allowing me to do that, but I really enjoyed the time I did it in this job, so let me find a job that does all of that. Whatever the reason is that's pushing you out, turn that into a positive. So do you want to be more challenged, etc., etc.? Leverage what you do know, leverage the skills that you do have. And also just like reaching out to people for help, like people who have like gone before you, people who are in the industry that you want to go in. I don't describe myself as like a nice person. I think I'm like a good person. I think I'm normal, whatever. But the point is that I don't think anyone who even I don't know would come to me and I'd like roll my eyes because they're asking for help. If someone is like that, it's definitely on them and not on you. So like, don't let that fear of like someone ignoring you stop you from asking. It's so dumb that we put these things up like, oh, I could get rejected or oh, I could get ignored. Like, yes, you could. And like, it's actually like, if you actually like take it down, it's not a big deal. The more you put out there and the more rejections you get, the less deep it is. So like, pretty much just like get as many rejections as you can so you can no longer deep it. When it does get deep, like feel free to take like, you know, 2 days or 3 days off applying and then like start again if you want to again. The overarching message that I want you to leave with, if you have stayed to the end, is to just not let your current situation like govern your future. Like, not let being in a job that you don't like govern staying in that job. Not let a global pandemic govern the way that you see yourself or you see your prospects in terms of getting a job. Like, things change. I think that's done. Like, I think I'm done here. So cool. I really hope that helped someone. If not, it's tight. It's mad tight.